Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar, The Signature Pad. What you see is what you sign. My name is Joshua Levy and I'm the CEO of CompuTime, your trusted source for e-signature capture solutions. Today's webinar is the 9th in our Beyond Brand series, intended to introduce you to the new product lines and vendors that CompuTime has partnered with during this past year. More and more companies are looking to eliminate paper in the signature process. To address questions about which hardware and software products are the best fit, CompuTime, the trusted source for e-signature capture products and the largest distributor of signature capture pads in the world, has been hosting a series of webinars designed to educate customers, resellers, ISVs, and distribution channel partners about our expanded line of electronic signature hardware and software. This series has proved to us that there is still a great need for information on integrating paperless processes that include electronic signatures. Once again, I'd like to take the time to thank our marketing partner, CMS Solutions. They've done a great job with marketing and recruiting attendees for these webinars. Also, a special thanks to our video partner, Fat Chimp Studios, who's helping us bring a higher quality video representation for playback after the completion of this presentation. Today, we are spotlighting the e-signature hardware of Tenzig technology. And in this case, it is actually Tenzig's Signature Pad. Based in Phoenix, Arizona, Tenzig Technology is the emerging market leader in development of thin client technology, with a primary focus in the desktop virtualization market space. In 2009, Tenzig, formerly Bossa Nova, was looking for a new image and an inspirational name that represented the high levels of performance that its products provide. Tenzing Norgay, or as he is better known, Sherpa Tenzing, is one of the most famous mountain climbers in history. He was one of the first two individuals known to have reached the summit of Mount Everest, which he accomplished with Sir Edmund Hillary in 1953. Tenzing not only champions being the first and being innovative, but it also defines the company as one that places much of its emphasis and importance on support, just as Tenzing Norgay supported Sir Edmund Hillary in his journey. It is with this mission that Tenzing expanded into this e-signature capture field. The Signature Pad, with patented what you see is what you sign technology, is the first tablet to combine a digitally secure signature into a portable PDF document. Today, we will discuss how the device is used, what makes it unique, features, environmental support, along with applicable industries and Signature Pad ROI. This live webinar will last 45 minutes and will conclude with a question and answer session. I'm happy to welcome our presenter today, Robert Hammond, VP of Business Development and Product Marketing. Robert has 12+ years of experience in the desktop and peripheral space with Tenzig and has helped shape the company's business directions. Robert is chiefly responsible for launching new and innovative product offerings, such as their line of VDI-ready thin clients and, of course, Tenzig's latest endeavor, the Signature Pad. Joining Robert today for question and answer session is Tenzig Technology President and Owner, Martin Pledgman. Martin Pledgman, a native of Leicester, England, brings with him 25+ years of experience in the desktop and peripheral marketplace. Martin's background has been the driving force behind the development of Tenzig as it is today, which has transitioned from a dumb terminal replacement technology company to one of cutting-edge technology providers in the desktop virtualization space. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Robert. Thank you for being here today, Robert.
Thank you,
Take it away.
Thank you for your time today. I'm here to present on the Tenzig Signature Pad, discuss the features and functionality and what it has to offer. The Tenzig Signature Pad isn't just a 10x8 e-signature pad designed to capture e-signatures. It also is a paper-to-paperless solution, allowing you to print, basically turn any form that you would normally send to a printer, hit print into a paperless document. It also handles your document management, integration into your CRM or archive software. So it's a full turnkey solution, not just a piece of hardware. There's hardware and software that's bundled in with it to make it a full end-to-end solution for both paperless, e-signature, and document management. So what does the Tenzing ZignaturePad do? It is both a hardware and software solution. Obviously, it provides a large screen to capture e-signatures. It displays the entire document, so allows customers to see where they sign instead of just copying and pasting a signature that you're signing on a tablet or pad and seeing the actual document on the screen itself. The document lives nowhere else but on the signature lives in nowhere else but the document itself. It is not cached on the tablet as well. Once the document is executed, that electronic signature is captured within the document, sealed within a PDF or TIFF file. This output is both just not only the signature itself, but the unique biometric information of that signature. So from everything from how you sign it, the unique pressure points, all things that can be tied in to prove that that person was the person that signed that document. It also allows you to provide the transaction history. So if it's a multi-page document and you want to prove due diligence, you can actually go back and prove that if someone said, I don't remember signing that document or I don't remember reading that, you can say, I can see that on page 2. It looks like you spent about 3 seconds on that page. So obviously, once again, in a very litigious environment that we're at, it can prove that, without a shadow of a doubt, that there was a lack of due diligence on the signer's part. So this whole point of this product isn't just to capture electronic signature, but to provide a bit of security for those people that the documents are written for, legal enforcement after the fact. So what makes the ZignaturePad unique is the simple installation of it. I mean, the time it takes you to install a printer driver into a PC, laptop, thin client, or the such, and attach it via USB is basically how long it takes to install the ZignaturePad. This can take a matter of just minutes. We say 30 minutes for worst case scenario, but most people are up and going with simple documents in less than 5 minutes. So versus most software solutions where it requires a lot of back-end integration, cross-compatibility, and also a short range of third-party devices that it will support at the desktop. This will be almost as close as you can get to a plug-and-play, paper-to-paperless e-signature solution. It's got very user-friendly features, very high-resolution, easy-to-read display. Signatures are very clear. The checkboxes, if you need checkboxes or little information to fill out, that can be done as well, all clear and transparent. Once again, if for those people that are vision impaired, it allows you to actually increase the size of the document so that it's easy for people to read. Once again, they're signing where they see, not signing a tablet or pad and then attaching that signature to a document that's viewable on a screen. You can also adjust the letter color, so to highlight certain fields, so it makes it more obvious, easier to read. So that's something that can be adjusted on the fly as well. Post-processing programming. The output can be distributed, printed, etc. So if you want to give your customer a copy of the signed document, you can still print it. We're not eliminating the ability to make it a paper document. We're just adding the paperless factor to it. From there, it can also create automatic distribution. So if whatever your normal document workflow is, if document A goes to the next 3 departments, you can then predefine that, and it'll actually automatically route that to those departments, eliminating any delay in human error or delay in processing the document. The files can be named based on the original document source, so you can actually create a customer field, a patient field that's got their unique number, which they can use this as the call out to tie to the customer's unique file folder within your CRM or archive management software. An XML file is then created, which contains all the data which can then be referenced by the archive software. So you can actually get information out of the document. It's just not just a PDF that can only be referenced by view. The Signature Designer, which comes also with the software, or with the ZignaturePad itself, and is included with the solution. It provides a whole host of features to increase security, integrity, and make sure that the document is fully executed and nothing's left off. It allows for the embedding of additional means of proving the identity of the signee, whether it be a USB-attached fingerprint reader, attaching that unique fingerprint, or a card scanner allowing you to scan someone's driver's license. That all can be embedded within the document itself. Once again, proving that that was the person that actually signed that document. This comes up, obviously in high-profile contracts where they might be contested down the road. The Tenzig signature pad also comes with monitoring software. This is a great tool for the administrator of the device itself, basically where the signature pad lives, at the desk where the signature pad lives. So when you have a customer come up to the desktop, to the signature pad, and they're filling out the form, signing the document, on the administrator screen, you're able to see that whole process take place. So you can make sure that they've checked all the boxes. You can also see that they're signing it genuinely and not putting Mickey Mouse, for instance. So this allows you a little bit of accountability as well, because you're seeing that process go page by page by page, real time. And the signatures can be reset. So if the last signature, they accidentally drug their arm across it and mess up their signature, you can reset the last signature. So that's an important thing when you go page by page. It also, you can provide an on-the-fly signature box, which is important if maybe you're creating an amendment to a document and you want to adjust the terms or something, or the dollar amount or whatever it is, and it's something you've done on the fly. You can then add that signature box there on the fly, and they can sign that, so you don't actually have to redo the whole document like you would normally in a paper environment. So it saves a lot of processes and streamlines it, and at the same time, once again, you can prove that they signed it, they agreed to it, and it's legally binding. You also have the ability to control marketing content, which I'll get into in the next slide on the fly. You can just, with the signature pad, when the tablet is idle or the signature process has been completed, you can have an advertising campaign going on the back. If you're an auto dealership, you might be trying to sell extended warranty or some maintenance package. If you're a healthcare organization, maybe it's a satisfaction survey, or you're looking, have you had your flu shot? So they can either be passive, predefined marketing messages, or more interactive ones, which can be designed for people can actually fill out, and that information can be taken out and used. So even when it's idle, the signature pad, it can be doing something for your organization. In the interactive mode, the pad can be used to interact with the user. Under the program control pad, that can be displayed as can display a menu. Input from that user can then be processed and then acted upon. So for instance, as I mentioned, if you had a flu shot, do you need an extended warranty? How was your experience? So it is quite a powerful tool besides just creating an electronic signature. There's also a light web browser that allows you to get web-based forms. If there's web-based forms you need filled out, if that's where you store your forms, you can use that web browser to grab those forms and fill them out, once again turning them into a secure, sealed PDF or TIFF file. The connectivity, how does the signature pad connect? It can either be network attached. The signature pad has 2 Ethernet ports presented at the back of the device, and it allows you to connect to the network or providing a port for additional devices to connect. This can be accessed by multiple sources for document processing, so you can actually have multiple devices or PCs, laptops, thin clients attaching to this device. Only one user can be using it at a time, but multiple users potentially could be using it. You can also, as I mentioned, direct attach via USB to a PC or a thin client for direct attachment of the device. Host device support. So as I mentioned, you can attach it directly to a thin client. You can also attach it to your terminal server, where you can obviously call out your documents. It can attach via Citrix or VMware in a virtual machine environment. It attaches to most Windows PCs, Linux. The USB attachment works specifically in XP, Windows 7, and Windows 8 PCs, and as I mentioned, can be network attached. So who needs it? It's important for anybody, any company, organization that has legally binding contracts, especially those that have high liability, whether it be healthcare, legal organizations, banking, essentially anyone that does financing, as I mentioned, medical, the law enforcement, anywhere where you think there's a high risk of your contract being contested. Also for those people that just want to go paperless and are looking to automate their workflow processes and be a little green at the same time. It's also key for integrators, people that are there's various pesky forms that they still haven't made to be able to make electronically, and they want to integrate it into their archive management or CRM system like their HIPAA form or maybe a patient consent form. Well, some simple pesky form that they just haven't gotten around to integrating. And so those integrators that work for a McKesson or a G Medical or anything of the sort can then use this tool, the simple and easy tool, to get the job done without having to spend a lot of time trying to make a form paperless, which can be very time-consuming on a software basis. So, as I mentioned, we have the signature pad. We also have a software-based form of the tool that actually installs on a Samsung tablet. And it gives you that portable use for people that need to be on the move, because currently in the signature pads format, it is a tethered device. But if you need to be on the go, you need a wireless user, we can load that software on the Samsung tablet. It's then, the software is distributed by a Citrix server. The document can then be sent to the mobile tablet where full biometric data can be captured using the Samsung S Pen, same way as the signature pad. It does need a Citrix environment, but web browser access to the document can also be supported on the software. So many of me are asking, well, portable is always great. Why would I get a signature pad over just getting the software option and a Samsung tablet? The cons of the signature pad is it's not mobile yet, though we are working on it today. It is a static tethered device. The pros of the signature pad are that you have the advertising option, and for after the signature has been captured, you can have that advertising option, or as well as an additional customer feedback option, survey option. There's no call out with the Samsung tablet for the signature pad card scanner, where you can put in your driver's license, or the fingerprint reader itself. So those are additional things people are looking to secure that document or prove that the person that signed it was indeed that person. So you lose that with the Samsung tablet, you obviously gain it with the signature pad. There's obviously a better user interface, a little bit bigger screen, very clear screen, obviously showing the full page per page on the screen versus a Samsung. Sometimes you need to scroll it up and down. Obviously the monitoring software that you have where the administrator of the device can see live what's going on with the signature pad versus the Samsung tablet. You obviously hand it to someone, they've got to fill it out, and then you take it back and hope that everything worked out good. And generally speaking, it has. And obviously the signature pad does not require a Citrix network versus the Samsung does require that at this stage. So many people ask, well, what's the ROI of the signature pad? Obviously, quick and simple conversion of printed forms to paperless is a huge benefit. You're saving the cost of printing forms, whether it's pre-printing using a private printer or you're in-house using paper, ink, printer maintenance. There's also the task of, if you're going paperless, of printing out a page, having someone sign it, then scanning that page in, and then distributing it manually. Also destroying that signed document. Some documents, because they're proprietary, you got to destroy, not just wad up and throw away. So that's yet another service. Either you got to shred, or you got to look to then use a private service. So that's another cost. It eliminates the need to handle, file, or manage paper altogether because of the automated document routing service. You no longer have to hand physical pieces of paper or manually email them to various departments. There's no expensive, time-consuming software to install. No custom software for each form that you have to build out and create. This is all done on the fly. The management software, the monitor tool, the designer are very intuitive, easy to install. There's no proprietary blend there that every time you make a change to the form, that you have to pay an outside provider to then make edits to that. And in this day and age, there's often legal changings, or maybe you're changing the company name, the address, letterhead, whatever it may be. You can do it on the fly yourself, not have to pay a third-party software provider to do it for you. In summary, the Tenzing signature pad is a complete solution. As I mentioned, it's not just an electronic signature pad, but it's a quick and easy means to get all your printed forms that you would normally print, send to print, to send to this pad, make them electronic immediately, going from paper to paperless, and the time it takes to install a printer driver and attach a device via USB. So very quick and simple. So it provides that nice transition. It also provides you the electronic signature capture. It provides the security of that signature, the ability to verify that that person was the person that signed it by biometric ID, by actually scanning in fingerprints, driver's license, or any other third-party piece of information that you choose to attach to that document. It's a very easy yet powerful implementation. The solution is patented, but it's also supported by R&D. So we make the solution fit. Well, in most situations, it's fairly plug and play. If you have a unique scenario, approach us, and we have the R&D resources active to support you on that need.
Great, Robert. Wonderful presentation. Really appreciate that. And we're now going to take questions from our audience. Our first question that I have, Martin, is what made Tenzing decide to branch out into the signature capture field?
Well, actually, we saw an opening in the market for a product such as this. I discovered it with a colleague of mine that I used to work with who actually produces this equipment overseas, and we decided it'd be great to brand it and bring it to the US.
Excellent. Our next question is, how does Tenzing's patented biometrics compare to other products on the market?
What this does that's unique is it displays the entire document. It encrypts the biometric information inside the document, inside the pad. What most other people do is, if they capture the biometrics at all, they're capturing it just on the device itself and then transferring it to the document somehow. So it's a call out from the software. It's something separate from the contract. This is entirely within the contract on the pad itself and never leaves the pad without being encrypted.
Excellent. And a follow-up question to that is, how can I tell, or how can one tell, if the encrypted biometric data has been tampered with?
When you get the digitally signed PDF, there's actually, if you look at the properties, it actually tells you this document has not been tampered with. And that is true until the time somebody does tamper with it, and then it's no longer present.
And that'll answer the following question, which is, how do I access the encrypted biometric data in the document? Would that be under the properties, or is that?
No, to gain access to the actual biometric information, you need to own the certificate authority that the pad resides within. So typically the security officer of the company will have access to the private key that's used in conjunction with the certificate used with the pad. And so it's only available to that company.
Excellent. And I've got a little technical question about the hardware. Tell us a little bit about the pen. What's in the pen technology, and tethered, is it not tethered?
Right, there's actually two pens. One is wireless, where there's a battery inside the pen and it communicates with the device. And there's a tethered pen which provides everything through a cable which plugs in the back of the unit.
So I know we're going to have this question. The batteries, normal batteries? Is it
they're just normal. I think they're AAA.
Okay, good. Here's a question. What types of media files can I use on the display? I think you mentioned TIFF and...
Well, actually, I want to clear that point up because we're not saying what types of files you can use. If you can print it, it doesn't matter where it comes from. It ends up on the pad. The output from the pad, however, is one of two formats, primarily PDF, but we are able to output as a TIFF. Those two outputs combine probably 99% of what the archive software is looking for. Great. So in most cases, that's exactly what you need.
And Robert mentioned a little bit about the pros and cons, that the mobile device, the mobility of the Tenzing pad isn't there, but it's on the Samsung. When can we expect to see the mobile on the Tenzing?
Well, that's kind of how long is a piece of string. We've had the request for quite a while, and it's not so simple to do. But, check with me in 6 months and let's see where we are.
And do most of the people, when they say mobile, do they mean mobile or do they mean wireless? Or is there both?
Well, the new pad is going to be wireless. One of the things that is more difficult to control when you're in a mobile environment is actually what the customer is seeing. In a tethered environment, typically, you're sitting there, I'm sitting here, we're close to each other. I'm watching what you're doing. If I give you something, like in a doctor's office, you wander off with it, it's very difficult for me to really control what's going on in the pad.
It almost defeats the what you see is what you sign as well.
It just makes it more difficult to administer. So if you're doing something I didn't approve of, you could commit the changes and I wouldn't know till later on, for instance.
Great. We have a highly technical audience as well, often. So can you go into elaborate a little bit more on the SDK?
Well, the SDK is really just providing you with an API so that you can link it to your software. We give a number of API calls to allow you to feed information to the device, and it's something we work on a case-by-case basis with each software company just to help them through that process.
Great. We have time for just one more question. I know the product's been getting rave reviews in the healthcare market. What other big wins and industries has Tenzing experienced with the device?
Actually, it seems to be getting a lot of momentum in banking. A recent bid that we're involved with was with a bank that wanted the fingerprint scanner integrated into the document. In actual fact, that's the reason why we have it. Like Robert said in the presentation, if there's a specific implementation that you need that it doesn't support, chances are we can add it. So banking is really a major one. Legal offices, anywhere where the contracts are really important. Because one of the things you can get with electronic signature that you couldn't really get with a real pen and ink is the biometric information. It really makes it obvious whether you signed it or you didn't.
Great. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you again for joining us. And like I said, that is all the time we have for today's presentation. As a follow-up to our webinar, tomorrow we will be sending out a video recording of the presentation, as well as following up to any questions that we were unable to get to today. Again, I'd like to thank our guest presenter, Robert Hammond, who traveled to St. Louis from Arizona to join us in person today, as well as Martin Pledgman, who is participating in the QA session. A special thanks to our marketing partner, CMS Solutions, for putting together this webinar, and to Fat Chimp Studios for taking this recording to the next level. Check your inbox for updates and upcoming webinars to learn more about CompuTime's product offerings. We appreciate your attendance, and this has been a webinar brought to you by CompuTime.